My child, I see you there. You've walked a long road, a road full of seasons, some bright, some shadowed. You've loved, you've lost, you've held hands, buried dreams, faced lonely nights, and whispered prayers into the quiet. You've carried more than most people know. And I know, I was with you through it all. Yes, my child. Every tear you wiped alone, I was there. Every prayer you whispered in the night, I heard it. Every name you called in the dark, a spouse, a child, a friend gone too soon, I carried them in my arms. Today, I want to speak with you. Not with thunder, not with judgment, but with love. I want you to remember something powerful, something eternal, a truth I spoke long ago and still whisper today. I am the resurrection and the life. He who believes in me, though he may die, yet shall he live. John 11 verse 25. Let these words settle into your heart. They are not poetry. They are not metaphor. They are the very breath of eternity, spoken for you. You may be wondering why I say this now. Because I know what you carry. I know the ache that sits beneath your smile. I know the quiet fear that sometimes creeps in when the house is too silent. I know how often you think of those who've gone before you. You may feel the weight of years. Your hands may not be as steady. Your steps may not be as quick. You may wonder, how much longer? What's next? What happens when I take my last breath? And I want you to hear me clearly now. You were not created to end. You were created to live. I did not make you for the grave. I made you for glory. I made you for eternity. Do you remember the story? The day I spoke those words, I am the resurrection and the life? It was at a grave. It was when everyone thought it was too late. My friend, Lazarus, had died. 4 days in the tomb. The stone was sealed. His sisters, Mary and Martha, wept bitterly. They had faith, but they thought I had come too late. But I told Martha, your brother will rise again. She said, yes, Lord. I know he will rise at the resurrection on the last day. And then I looked at her, the way I look at you now, and I said, I am the resurrection. I am the life. Not just in the future. Not just at the end of time. I am your resurrection now. Your life now. I did not come to offer you religion. I came to offer you myself. You see, my child, death does not frighten me. It never did, because I knew I would conquer it. I faced death for you, not so that you would avoid pain, but so that your pain would never be the end of your story. I allowed myself to be laid in the grave, but only so I could walk out alive and carry you with me into everlasting life. A pause for the heart. Take a breath now. Let your heart listen. How long has it been since you felt peace in the quiet moments? Do you know, my beloved one, that I am closer now than the very breath you breathe? Many people your age are preparing for retirement, for downsizing, for saying goodbye. But you, my child, you were made not to prepare for an end, but to prepare for a beginning. There is a place beyond this life, a home not made with human hands, where no one grows old, where knees never ache, where hearts don't break, where laughter does not fade, where I walk with you in the garden, in the cool of the day. And I have prepared it for you, not because you were perfect, not because you got everything right, but because you are mine. So let me ask you now, tenderly, are you afraid? You don't have to be. You may feel weak. You may feel tired. But you are never forgotten. I did not forget you when the doctor gave you that diagnosis. I did not forget you when you stood by the grave of someone you loved. I did not forget you when everyone else did. And I do not forget you now. I am the resurrection and the life, not just for saints, not just for the young, not just for the strong in faith, for you, right where you are, right now. If you have believed in me, even if your body grows old, your soul will never die, because in me death is not the end. It's a doorway, a passage, a gentle crossing into a light more beautiful than words. I am not far from you, my child. When your legs feel heavy, I carry you. When your heart feels tired, I breathe my strength into you. When you feel forgotten, I whisper your name in heaven. You are my beloved. You are written on the palms of my hands. And when the final chapter of this life comes, it won't be the end. It will be a new morning. A morning when I will call your name, just as I called Lazarus. And you will rise. So take heart, child of God. You are not walking toward death. You are walking toward me. And I am the resurrection. I am the life. I am the one who loved you before you took your first breath, and who will hold you after your last. You are safe in me, forever. Let me tell you a story that's not just written in scripture, but written for your life. There was a man I loved deeply. His name was Lazarus. He lived in a small village called Bethany, not far from Jerusalem. He had 2 sisters, Martha and Mary, strong, faithful, and full of love. They were like family to me. Their home was a place of peace, a place where I could rest, pray, laugh, and feel safe. And one day, I got word that Lazarus was sick, very sick. Mary and Martha had sent a message to me. They didn't beg. They didn't demand. They simply said, "Lord, the one you love is sick." That's all they needed to say, because I knew. They believed I would come immediately. They had seen me heal the blind, raise the crippled, calm the storm. They trusted that I would arrive in time. But I didn't. I waited. 2 days passed. Then I said to my disciples, "Let us go to him." By the time we arrived, Lazarus had already been dead for 4 days. The air was still. The village was in mourning. People wept openly. Martha ran to meet me on the road. Her heart was broken, yet she was trying to be strong. She looked at me with eyes filled with grief and said, "Lord, if you had been here, my brother would not have died." Have you ever said something like that? Lord, if you had only come sooner. If you had answered that prayer before the cancer. If you had stepped in before I lost them. If you had saved my marriage, my child, my health. I understand. But hear what I told her next. Your brother will rise again. Martha said what many of you might say. Yes, Lord. I know he will rise again in the resurrection at the last day. She believed in heaven. She had hope for the future. But her heart was hurting now. She needed more than a promise for someday. So I looked her in the eyes, just as I look into yours right now, and I said, I am the resurrection and the life. He who believes in me will live, even though he dies. And whoever lives by believing in me will never die. Do you believe this? Martha didn't understand everything in that moment, but she trusted me. And then she led me to the tomb. It was a cave. A stone lay across the entrance. Death had taken my friend. The weeping filled the air. And when I saw Mary, Lazarus' sister, fall to the ground sobbing, when I saw the pain that grief brings, when I saw death trying to steal the joy from those I loved, I wept. Yes, my child, I wept. I did not weep because I was powerless. I wept because I was present, because I felt what they felt, because I feel what you feel. Your grief is not too small for me. Your pain is not beneath my attention. Even now, when you sit in silence and remember those you've lost, I am there, and I weep with you. But I did not stop at sorrow. I walked to the tomb. People whispered, couldn't he who opened the eyes of the blind have kept this man from dying? I said, take away the stone. Martha, ever practical, said, Lord, by now there will be a bad smell, for he has been dead 4 days. But I reminded her, did I not tell you that if you believe, you will see the glory of God? They rolled away the stone. I lifted my eyes to heaven. I thanked my Father. And then, with a voice that shattered the grip of death, I cried out, Lazarus, come forth. And Lazarus, wrapped in burial cloth, walked out, alive. The grave could not hold him, because where I am, life overcomes death. From story to your story, you may be wondering, Why does this matter to you right now in this life? Because many of you feel like something has died. Maybe it's not a person. Maybe it's a part of your heart. A dream, a hope, a sense of purpose. You may be sitting in a silent house. You may be battling a diagnosis. You may be grieving a loss no one else understands. And you may think, it's too late. I've missed it. God didn't come in time. But I want you to know something that Martha and Mary learned that day. Even when it feels too late, I am never late. I am not bound by time. I do not rush. I do not forget. What feels dead to you can still rise in me. I am still calling people out of the grave today. And I'm not just talking about physical death. I call out hearts that have grown cold. I call out joy that has been buried. I call out hope that's been lost for years. I call out you by name, just like I called Lazarus, come forth. Call you now. Come forth from fear. Come forth from sorrow. Come forth from shame and regret. Because I am still the resurrection. I am still the life. Not just someday, today. Not just in heaven, here. Not just for others, for you. A whisper to your heart. So take heart, my beloved. The tomb is not your destiny. The end of your strength is not the end of my power. The weight of age is not the weight of your worth. The losses you've endured do not define you. I do, and I call you mine. I am the resurrection and the life. I conquered death not just for Lazarus, not just for the world, but for you. So when the days feel long, when your body aches, when your breath feels short, remember, I've walked this road, and I will walk it with you, until that final breath, and beyond it, until the moment you hear me call your name, and rise in joy into my arms, forever. My child, you've heard me say it, I am the resurrection and the life. You've heard the story of Lazarus, how I called him from the tomb, and how I, too, walked out of my own grave in victory. But today, I want you to know what that means for you. The resurrection is not only a moment in history. It is a gift for today, a living promise for this very hour. It is not only about the life to come. It's about the life you are living. Now, I know the questions that rise in your heart, though you may not speak them aloud. Does my life still matter? Have I done enough? Am I alone now? Is this the end of my story? And I say to you now, with all my love, no, child, this is not the end. This is still sacred ground. This season, even with its quietness, even with its aches, is full of purpose. Because I live, you live. Not only one day in heaven, but now, even in the waiting. Because I live, you have peace. There is a peace I give that the world cannot understand. Not peace like silence. Not peace like everything is going well, but a deeper kind of peace, the kind that holds you when the tears come, the kind that steadies your heart when fear knocks. You may wake up some mornings with a heaviness in your chest. You may feel tired, though you've just begun the day. You may long for voices you no longer hear, but I am there, right there in the quiet, in the chair beside you, in the prayer you whisper before your coffee, in the breath you take when your strength is small. Peace I leave with you, my peace I give to you. Do not let your heart be troubled, neither let it be afraid. John 14 verse 27. Because I have overcome the grave, nothing can truly steal you from me. Not illness, not aging, not even death. You are mine. Because I live, you have courage. I know how brave you've had to be. You've lived through loss, change, and moments that shook your world. You've walked through the valley of the shadow more than once. But my child, the same power that raised me from the dead, now lives in you. The spirit of him who raised Jesus from the dead is living in you. Romans 8 verse 11. This means your courage is not dependent on your physical strength. It is not rooted in your past accomplishments. It is not based on how many people surround you. It comes from me. Every step you take in faith, no matter how small, echoes with eternal strength. Even now, I am filling you with a courage that lifts your head, that helps you stand even when your knees feel weak, that whispers in your heart, "You are not done. You are not forgotten. I am with you. Because I live, your sorrow has a companion. Grief is not something you just get over. I see the photos on your shelf. I know the names you whisper into the silence. I know how certain songs make tears rise uninvited. And I do not ask you to forget. I ask you to remember with me, because I too have wept. I too have stood at a grave. I too have felt the sting of death. But I have also overcome it. Where, O death, is your sting? Where, O grave, is your victory?" 1 Corinthians 15 verse 55. There is no tear you've shed that I haven't caught. No heartbreak I haven't held. And one day, oh my beloved, I will wipe every tear from your eyes with my own hand. You will see them again. The ones you miss. The ones you loved. Because resurrection means reunion. And nothing is lost that is placed in my hands. Because I live, you still have purpose. Don't let the world tell you your time has passed. You may move slower. You may not be who you once were in body. But you are still exactly who I call beloved. The world may overlook the quiet ones. But I treasure them. There is wisdom in your years. There is power in your prayers. There is beauty in your gentleness, your kindness, your endurance. You are still a light in this world. Still my hands, my voice, my servant. Every phone call you make, every prayer you offer for someone in pain, every word of encouragement, every hug, every thank you, every "I'm here for you." These are seeds of eternity, and I see them all. Because I live, you will never be alone. There may be days when no one visits, when the phone doesn't ring, when the world seems far away. But I am never far. I am closer than your breath. I sit with you in the silence. I speak to your soul when words fall short. I will never leave you nor forsake you. Hebrews 13 verse 5. Not when you're tired. Not when you forget things. Not when your body aches. Not when your memories fade. I am not going anywhere. I walked with you in youth. I carried you in storms. And I will be with you to the end and beyond. Because I live, you will live also. That is my promise to you. Not just someday, but now. Because I live, you also will live. John 14 verse 19. Live in hope, live in peace, live in faith, live in me. So when you lie down tonight, when the lights go out, and the house becomes quiet, let your last thought be this: He is risen, and because He lives, so will I, forever, with no more sorrow, no more pain, only joy, only life, with me. My beloved, I want to talk to you about something few people are willing to say aloud. Something sacred, something holy, something that touches every heart. The moment I call you home, you've thought about it. Maybe in the quiet of the night, when the house is still. Maybe when you looked at the photograph of someone you once held close. Maybe after a doctor's appointment, or while sitting beside a friend who's fading. Maybe you've whispered the question in the silence. What will it be like when my time comes? And today, my child, I want you to know, you don't have to be afraid. You see, the world has tried to make death something cold, something dark, something to avoid or fear. But that's not how I see it. To me, death is not a wall. It's a door. Not a punishment, but a passage. Not a goodbye, but a homecoming. And I will be there. Even though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for you are with me. Psalm 23 verse 4. That verse is not just poetry. It's a promise. When your final breath comes, you will not be alone. There will be no fear, no confusion, no darkness, because I will come for you myself. I will take your hand, yes, your very hand, and I will whisper your name just as I did with Lazarus. And you will rise, gently, quietly, and you will see me, face to face. You've spent a lifetime walking toward me. Some steps were full of joy. Some were weary and slow. You've carried burdens, felt sorrow, shown love, prayed in silence, worshipped in the middle of tears. And I have seen it all. I've walked beside you every step of the way, even when you didn't feel me there. But now, when your journey here ends, you'll hear me say, "Well done, my good and faithful servant. Come and rest." Not because you were perfect, not because you never doubted, but because you trusted me, because you said yes, even with trembling hands and a heart full of questions. Do you want to know what happens next? Let me show you. In a moment, less than a heartbeat, the weight will lift from your body. Pain will vanish. The ache in your joints, the weariness in your bones, gone. You'll feel lighter than you've ever felt. Not young again, but something better, eternal, whole, free. You will rise. You'll look back and realize death was not darkness, but light, like waking from a long night of sleep into a morning that never ends. And then you'll see those you've loved, those who were mine, their faces shining with joy, their laughter restored. They'll run to you. No more goodbyes, no more sickness, no more aging. Reunion, celebration, restoration. There will be no more death or mourning or crying or pain. Revelation 21 verse 4. For the old order of things has passed away. But what about my family? I know your heart still worries for the ones you love, your children, your grandchildren, the friends who are still on their journey. You ask me, what will happen to them when I'm gone? Will they be okay without me? Will they know I loved them? Will they come to know you? And I say to you, yes, yes, they will know. Yes, they will feel your love. Yes, I will walk with them too, just as I walked with you. Leave them in my hands. They are safer there than anywhere else. Your prayers will not be forgotten. Your legacy of faith will echo through generations. The seeds you planted, through tears and worship and love, will grow. Even when you cannot see the harvest, I promise you, it will come. What if I'm still afraid? You may still feel a trembling deep inside, even after all this, even with all you know. And that's okay. I don't expect you to face the end without emotion. But I do want you to know this. You are not stepping into the unknown. You are stepping into my arms. You are not being taken. You are being welcomed. Death is not a thief for my children. It is a gentle escort leading you home. To be absent from the body is to be present with the Lord. 2 Corinthians 5 verse 8. The moment your earthly eyes close, your heavenly eyes will open, and what you see will take your breath away, only for a moment, because you'll be breathing in eternal life. Welcome home. You've longed for home your whole life. Not just a place, but a feeling, a belonging, a peace. And now, child, you are home. No more bills, no more medications, no more loneliness, no more wondering if you've done enough. You are home, with me. And this is only the beginning. There will be music. There will be laughter. There will be colors you've never seen, joy you've never tasted, glory you've never imagined. And most of all, there will be me, my eyes, my voice, my arms, forever, a final whisper. So don't be afraid, my child. When your day comes, and it will, you will not walk alone. I will be beside you. I will hold you. And when the time is right, I will call your name, and you will rise. I am the resurrection and the life. He who believes in me will live, even though he dies. John 11 verse 25. Rest in that truth. Sleep in peace tonight. Your future is secure. And when it's time, I'll be waiting at the gate, smiling, with arms wide open. Welcome home, my beloved. You've listened to my voice. You've heard the promise. I am the resurrection and the life. You know now that death is not the end, that I have gone to prepare a place for you, that when your time comes, I will bring you home myself. But today I want to speak to the time between now and then, the precious days you still have on this earth, the days that matter just as much. I want to tell you how to live well until I come again. You might think your best days are behind you. You might feel your strength is fading. But hear me clearly. If you are still breathing, there is still purpose. There is still beauty. There is still something I want to do in and through you. You do not have to change the world. You just need to love well, right where you are. Love deeply. Start small. A new command I give you. Love one another. John 13 verse 34. The world tells you love is a feeling. But I tell you, love is a choice. Love is 1,000 small moments of kindness, grace, and patience. You can still show it every single day. When you write a note of encouragement, when you pray for someone in need, when you listen without needing to speak, when you forgive even when it's hard, that is love. And that is power, holy power. Love has no expiration date. It doesn't depend on your energy. It flows from my spirit within you. Some of the most powerful moments of your life may still be ahead. Not because they are big, but because they are real. You don't have to do more. You just have to love more. Be a light, even in quietness. You may not preach from pulpits. You may not travel to distant places. But the light you carry is no less bright. You are the light of the world. Matthew 5 verse 14. Some of you shine by simply being faithful, by showing up, by telling your story, by being kind in a harsh world. I want you to know, your life still preaches. Your words still matter. Your presence still brings peace. The world needs you. Your family needs you. I need you right where you are. Remember who you are. When the world moves fast, when your body changes, when memories fade, when others forget to call, you might ask, who am I now? Let me tell you, you are mine. You are chosen. You are redeemed. You are not forgotten. You are not useless. You are a child of God. From the day I knit you together, until the day I bring you home. Your value has never come from what you do. It comes from whose you are. And you are mine. Stay close to me. You've walked with me for many years. Through heartache, through joy, through mistakes, through grace, through the quiet mornings and sleepless nights. And still I say, abide in me. John 15 verse 4. Stay close. Speak to me. Even when no one's around. Even when it feels like nothing's happening. I'm still speaking. I'm still listening. I'm still with you. In the ordinary, in the sacred, in the silent. You are not too old to hear my voice. You are not too weak to be filled with my spirit. Even now, I long to walk with you moment by moment. Bless the generations. You may think, the world is changing so fast. I don't even recognize it anymore. I understand. But don't let that fear steal your peace. Because you still have something to pass on. A blessing. A word of wisdom, a memory of faith, a legacy of love. Your children, your grandchildren, even those who have wandered far, they need your prayers, your steady presence, your stories of how I was faithful, even when life was hard. Write them letters, speak words of blessing. Tell them, God is real, He is good, He has never failed me. That's a legacy nothing can erase. Watch with hope. I am coming soon. Yes, child, I will come again. Just as I rose, just as I ascended, just as I promised. You will see the Son of Man coming on the clouds of heaven with power and great glory. Matthew 24 verse 30. This world is not forever. The sorrows will not last. The war, the pain, the confusion, the noise, all of it will end. And I will return. The trumpet will sound. The sky will break open, and I will gather all who are mine. Until that day, live ready, not with fear, but with joy. Let your lamp be full. Let your heart be soft. Let your hope stay strong, because I will not delay. I am coming to make all things new. One final promise. Before this message ends, let me leave you with one final promise. I am with you always, to the very end of the age. Matthew 28 verse 20. Not sometimes. Not just when you feel it. Not only when you're strong. Always. in the quiet hours, in the long nights, in the doctor's office, in the phone calls that never come, in the tears you cry when no one sees. I am there, and when your race is done, when the time comes to cross the river, I will be there too. No more waiting, no more sorrow, just my voice, my smile, my embrace, forever. I am the resurrection and the life. He who believes in me will live, even though he dies. John 11 verse 25. Live with me, love through me, wait for me. I am coming soon.